I think one thing that the big unspoken question, the reason for the exemptions from the EIS was always financial. Oh, we're not going to get our loans if we don't get this exemption. So why is the money driving this effort to circumvent Hawaii law, right? What gives them the right to do that? And what's the question behind that? So follow the money, and it goes back to the Maritime Administration loan of 140, or loan guarantee of 140 million. Where does that money come from? It's not, according to their administrator testifying at Congress, the Bush administration considers the loan guarantee a subsidy, corporate subsidy. So they didn't request money in the president's budget. So that money had to be stuck in there in committee somewhere, in a defense appropriation or some other appropriation bill, as an earmark. So it's pure pork for the benefit of one company. And we can't find the exact bill where that money was created. So I think that's a key question. And if there were any strings attached to that money, we don't know yet. So that's a question that needs to go to, I think, the congressional delegation. Also, if you look at the board of directors of the Super Ferry, John Lehman, ex-Secretary of Navy, is the head. There's a number of other people from his company, and their primary interest is investing in defense technologies, defense projects. Right? That's their only specialty. So the Super Ferry, therefore, is a defense project. And in fact, if you look at Oslo Corporation, the company that manufactures the Super Ferry, it has a whole division that's dedicated to military ships. Another design very similar to the Super Ferry is used as a Westpac Express to transport U.S. Marines around the Southeast Asia, Australia, Okinawa area. And so this design is meant to transport military. It's designed to those specs. There's another article that shows Oslo Corporation, now that they've got a foothold in the U.S. with their Alabama plant. Lehman's company invested in another shipyard right next door, and I was told that they were also picking up subcontracts for the Super Ferry. Okay. So now there's another article that says the Oslo Corporation and General Dynamics makes the Stryker Brigade. They are teaming up to bid for another larger contract for it's called the Joint High-Speed Vessel. It's a large contract for many ships to transport troops and equipment at a high rate. And they want to use the Super Ferry type of design for that. And so that's their plan, was to get a foothold, foot in the door, to have a demonstration project, and then bid for this larger contract. So we're helping to get this company a whole lot of money on building up the war machine and the war effort. And so I think that's really where we need to be looking. And when you see how the Coast Guard and Homeland Security and the FBI have come down and totally militarized, put Nawili Harbor under martial law, that should give an indication of some of the interests that are aligned here, and the kind of things we should expect when more of this Super Ferry type of venture comes to Hawaii. It was intentionally kept hidden because when John Lehman first came on board, he was like really proud to brag. Oh yeah, the Super Ferry is like a Westpac Express, and we're gonna go great guns. And now the latest interview with Garibaldi, when someone asked him, "Is this going to transport Strykers?" Absolutely not. It has nothing to do with Strykers. So they're trying to distance themselves from the military connection. Meanwhile, it's totally embedded in the very fiber of the Super Ferry. If you follow the money, the commitment letter from Maritime Administration to the Super Ferry guaranteeing the $140 million in loans says, as one of its clauses, the Super Ferry is required to be enrolled in the military sea lift program called a volunteer intermodal sea lift agreement. So it's part of its very nature is to be a military vessel. And when you look at the math of their business plan, how much it's going to cost to run the Super Ferry, it seems unreasonable that this could be a viable commercial venture unless there were guarantees of military business, government business that would be sort of set a baseline for that. Definitely, I think that stuff all needs to be fully disclosed and explained. No one's explained to us where the money came from. I've been asking, yeah. So, it's and the EIS is definitely a place where some of that stuff needs to be brought to the table. If we're going to really understand what is the Super Ferry about, how is it going to impact Hawaii, all those things need to be taken into consideration, including Strykers, if they're going to be transporting Strykers.